What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith, and today on the channel I have a historical fiction review for you. I'm going to be talking about my experience reading for the first time Shogun by James Clavell. Now, if you're wondering, did you read this book because you saw there was a show coming out? Absolutely. Christmas Day 2023, I was sitting there watching the Boston Celtics play the LA Lakers, and during a commercial break, a trailer came on that was advertising the new series that was being adapted, and as soon as I saw the trailer, I thought, this is something I want to watch. And when they mentioned it was adapted from a book, I thought, okay, I need to read that book. I did absolutely no research to verify any of the information he shared about Japanese culture. I just kept telling myself, this is historical fiction. There's no telling what the author may have embellished or created in order to add intrigue and drama to the story. What I can say is this fictional journey of John Blackthorne and his struggles to adapt and survive the Japanese culture was something I enjoyed very much. The pacing for Shogun was very slow. Many times I felt the author was writing each and every day that Blackthorne spent in Japan, but it never felt dull. I was never bored. I enjoyed every single one of these 1,300 pages. James Clavell was able to figure out how to balance moments of humor with shocking and horrifying scenes that were just filled with intense violence. I will never forget the first time that happened. I remember thinking to myself after the first several pages, I was like, I didn't know this book was going to be so enjoyable, so much fun to read. I didn't expect to laugh so much. And then all of a sudden, with a flip of a page, something just happened that quick. And it was so shocking, so violent that I was just sitting there going, what just happened? I hope medieval feudal Japan was not as bloody as it was depicted in this book. I cannot imagine living through that time. As entertaining as it was to watch Blackthorne try and assimilate into Japanese culture, the thing that I enjoyed the most was just how cunning these vassals and the regents, the 5 regents of Japan were. These guys were all constantly plotting on each other. They had spies planted everywhere. Some of these spies had been in place for 30, 40 years. The depth at which these characters were written just made this book absolutely incredible. On the surface, it's this brutal struggle for power, but underneath, it's a love story. And it's not just the love between a man and a woman. It's the story of how a man fell in love with a country and its culture, just the beauty of it all. Shogun is just one of those books that is a truly memorable read. I think that a lot of readers would like this, even if historical fiction is not a genre you typically favor. The way that this book is written, the way that the story is presented to you, it makes it so accessible and enjoyable to a wide variety of readers. I mean, this book is 50 years old and new readers every day are picking it up and just absolutely loving it. Now, if you're someone who prefers to consume your books through audiobooks, I would absolutely recommend the audiobook for this one. Ralph Lister is the audiobook narrator, and his ability to change accents and tones and speak these different languages was just nothing short of amazing. What I would recommend, though, get it from your local library because they'll give you the complete book. If you purchase this from Audible, Audible splits it into 2 books. So you're going to pay for this book twice, which I think is kind of shady. I don't understand why they did that. Well, I guess they wanted more money. Sitting here thinking about it, it's exactly the kind of thing that Lord Toranaga would do. This was my first experience reading James Clavell. I know that Shogun is part of the Asian Saga. It will not be my last book by James Clavell. I don't know if the show is going to adapt other books in this series, but I'm going to be getting my hands on them and reading them. I'm going to be checking them out from the library while I wait to see if they're going to adapt the books, because I would much rather have a matching set. I love this cover. I love the color choice they chose for it. Give you an up close so you can see what all is going on with the background there, but definitely would recommend picking this one up. It was well worth the time spent reading this one. I will read this again someday. Absolutely. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my experience, and if you have been on the fence about whether or not you should read it, I hope this was the little nudge that helped you make that decision to do so. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.